Hi, welcome back to our page. My name is Tim Murphy. I'm with Remax Results, and I'm the listing broker for this development at Penn City Homes. Today, I want to talk with you about the West Block. I'm going to break down our content into each individual block, the West, the East, and the South block. That way, you guys can ask specific questions about each block, the floor plan, the finishes, and whatever other comments or questions that you might have about the individual blocks that we're going to be building. So today, again, I'm going to be talking about the West block. This block, as you can see right now, is facing Penn Avenue. So based on this image that you're seeing or this picture that you're seeing, this is the front elevation of the West block. And then the street that you're seeing is Penn Avenue, which is going to run north and south. So as you can see, we have a little bit more of a contemporary feel, but I wouldn't say that it's extreme. But what you're also going to find is you're going to find that we do have some patios that come off of the units. You can see over on the right side here that we have a couple patios that are showing off pergolas. And then you can see on the left side we have a railing. And you can also see that we're going to have some brick, and we're going to have some vertical siding, and we're going to have some horizontal siding. So it's going to have a nice texture. We tried to stick with earth tones and really present something that is updated because it is 2025, but it isn't overly unrealistic when it comes to architecture. So this is the front elevation of the West block. The next thing I'd like to show you guys is the actual floor plan. So we're going to start with the main level of the floor plan. So this is the main level of the West block in the Penn City Homes development. Now, what you're going to see here is you're going to see that the front elevation is on the top here. So this is the front elevation, and then obviously that's going to be facing Penn City Homes. On the bottom is going to be the interior of the development where you're going to see the garage, and that's where you're going to enter into your garage spaces. So let's start off by the front elevation on one of these units. So you'll come into the front elevation off of a patio. It'll be a small entrance with a patio. Now you can see the bigger entrances have the pergolas over here on the left, which I showed you on the front elevation. And then the other patios, which each one of these patios is going to be a little bit different size. You can kind of see that in the plan. I don't want to go into too much detail, otherwise this video is going to be really long. You guys can watch this video and you obviously look through this plan on your own when you have a little bit more time. So I'm going to try to get through this a little bit quicker. So anyways, you can enter the front entrance and then you come into the living room space. So you'll come through a door, you'll come into the living room space, and then adjacent to the living room space, you're going to see a dining room space. And then adjacent to that, you're going to see a kitchen. Now the kitchen's going to have a large island, and then you're also going to have obviously your kitchen main wall of kitchen appliances, which is going to have a range, oven, sink, and whatnot. And then you're also going to have a pantry over here, which is going to be nice for storing your dried goods. The other thing that you're going to have is that off of the dining room and the kitchen is going to be a half bath. So you're going to have a powder bath here on the main level. You're also going to be able to come off of the kitchen, walk through the kitchen, and you're going to have a mud room, which will then give you access to the garage, which is a 2-car garage. And then if you're coming in the garage, you're going to land in that mud room. You're going to have a little bit of space, a bench to take off your shoes, hang your coats. But you also have a closet. As you can see, there's a door that opened up and you'll have a closet. And then the next door was going to be our mechanical room. So you will have your mechanical room on the main level. But the thing that I wanted to leave for the end, because I believe it's one of the best things about the design of our development here and of these floor plans, especially in the West block, is that there is going to be a bedroom on the main level. So there is main level living because there's a bedroom off of the main level. So that's really key with each one of these floor plans. There is a bedroom on the main level in the West block. So if you're looking for that one level living, we have it for you here on the West block because each unit has a bedroom on the main level. The next thing you'll notice is that if you look in the garage units here, they break down each individual unit. And on one of my next videos, I'm going to talk about the pricing matrix so you guys can learn more about the pricing. And I'll break down the pricings for each individual unit. But you can see here that you have the 3 beds, 3 baths. It has 1,107 square feet on the main. It has 1,019 square feet on the upper. And then there's a total of 2,126 finished square feet. So when you look in, like, for example, W1 garage, you can see the garage is 363 square feet. And then in that dashed mark where the garage door would be as you enter in the garage, you can see the rest of the specs for that particular unit. And that is consistent through each individual unit because each individual unit is going to be a little bit different. The size is going to be a little bit different. But in the West Block, as you can see, every one of these units has a 3 bed and a 3 bath. So again, take a chance, take your time, walk through these floor plans on your own as you watch this video, and then comment below, ask questions. That's why we're trying to make these videos short and sweet and about specific topics so that you can ask questions and we can dive deeper if you need to. So again, thanks for visiting and have a great day.